Spring has returned to the Oregon countryside, and it can be seen in many showy ways. Not just the greenery or the blossoms, but also brilliant sunshine on a day too nice to stay indoors. Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways, and this week we discover two distinct sites in the Willamette Valley and the Oregon Coast Range where outdoor education is idea number one. You'll be a good student when you come along with us and discover the forests for families. As the seasons change, the signs are clear and close at hand. At long last, spring's arrived. The Tillamook Forest Center, just off State Highway 6, specializes in education about Oregon forests. It's a place for families.
The pioneers that settled here, the Native Americans. We focus on some of the tree planting, which is related to the fires, but it's a big story that a lot of people don't know. And then the forest ecology. Take you out and maybe look at what's going on in the river, maybe check out the latest wildflowers that are blooming.
And when you're ready, step up into the clouds.
And it's a beautiful coincidence that there are 72 steps and there's 72 million trees were planted across the Tillamook State Forest.
A replica fire lookout tower. Once a common sight, now they've all but disappeared in Western Oregon.
You had a lot of canned goods and a lot of dry goods and very little in the way of anything fresh.
Lisa Gibson says the 4-story fire lookout tower offers a snapshot of a life for women who manned 15 towers atop remote mountains. They were called the Cloud Girls.
It was a really romantic idea, these young women by themselves out in the forest, out among the clouds and the tops of the trees.
Eleanor Mitchell was one of the first.
She's there with her binoculars, and it tells the story about how she got her job in the fire lookout.
Mitchell was prized for her patience and willingness to endure lonely weeks in the woods and provide service to the community.
It was a very important civic responsibility that you had as a fire lookout, providing that information to those field offices so they could get the fire crew ready, they could get in there and attack that fire quickly before it got so big that they couldn't control it anymore.
It's a forest filled with educational possibilities, and it's open through fall.
We're on one of the main highways to the coast, and you have lots of families. You know how they love to go to the coast on the weekend. And they got to stop by here because it's right on the way. We're free. We have some great facilities. We have some great programming for kids and families.
If you head down this trail near Wilsonville,
Look at this.
you may see and learn something new.
That's called a pileated woodpecker. See him up there? You can just see his head on this side.
Bill Wood is chief guide at Magness Tree Farm. He can teach you much about forest life across an 80-acre parcel owned by the World Forestry Center. The site offers an extensive trail system that's easy for kids to stroll. Magness Tree Farm boasts more than 2.5 miles of trail, most of it fairly gentle grade, and oftentimes you have Corral Creek by your side, or the first signs of spring, trilliums are showing their faces.
Most of the things are just starting to emerge right now, and we'll have all kinds of color here in the next 3 or 4, maybe 5 weeks. Trilliums by the hundreds here.
Bill says once folks discover Magness, they seldom want to leave.
When they first come here, they are awe-inspired by the creek and the serenity of the surroundings here. And then we see them again, and then they bring another family with them, and the circle expands. It's a wonderful place to be.
Both the Magness Tree Farm and the Tillamook Forest Center cater to families eager to explore the Oregon outdoors. We have all the details, the directions, and the contact information so you can make your own outdoor adventure right here on the Travel Oregon website. So be sure to check it out. Until next week, do get out here on a day too nice to stay indoors and enjoy the Oregon outdoors. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McComey.